Hello everyone, please excuse the fan as it's pretty warm in my room, but let's start out with our Italian model of the electromagnetic field and the Schumann resonance. So as you can see, our electromagnetic field has the weird green stuff and been being hit. We will just say that the reason it is spiking is there is some precipitation, I should say. The rain is participating in causing that to spike. Many people say, oh, no, the weather has no effect on this, but actually the weather does have effect on our Schumann resonance, both the Italian and the Russian model. So I have not been keeping too much of an eye on this besides the electromagnetic field, which is what we should be looking at more so than the Schumann, because you will find odd things happening on this electromagnetic field that you will run into that seem to be glitches or possibly communications. Now let's go ahead over to our solar flares here at spaceweatherlive.com. We have had a lot of activity on our sun. Right now we have 99% chance of C-class flares, M-class flares 95%, X-class flares, we are the highest I've ever seen it at 60% chance. We have had multiple X-class flares this month. This month alone, but this week, the past 7 days, we have had 7 X-class flares, which include a 0.09, and there are many other ones. Our highest was a X 4.52. So if we go over to our sunspot regions right now, we are going to see that AR 3663 is almost around the bend, but we're also going to see that AR 3664 is very, very feisty. And they recently said today that both 3668 and 3664 have basically merged, which I had said. 3663 has gone down a step, and 3664 has been shooting off flare after flare after flare today. The others have not been shooting off flares, and these are the regions due to return. Now 3663 here, as you can see, we only have 10 sunspots on that now, only a 10% chance of an X-class flare, and a 50% chance of an M flare. Now we're going to get down here to 3664, which we had a whole bunch of different solar flares come off of this. We had an X-class solar flare, X1.2, I believe, that popped off from region 3663 recently. We also had 2 X-class flares, at least from 3664 here, and we have a 55% chance for this region to pop off with the X-class flare, which we will see over and over again at this point. 85% chance of a M flare, 99% chance of a C flare. As you can see, it looks horrendous. And there are 62 sunspots right now with it, but you also have to remember 3668 is also located up with it, and they do have it listed. This one, there's only a 1% chance mostly of an X-class flare. 3667 is 1% X-class, and they're not really even saying much about 3668, even though I'm pretty sure that we recently had a flare from there. We have a couple more here, which that one there, 3669, must have just appeared with a sunspot, and there is no percentages right now. Region 3670, 1% chance. Now, the thing that I've been keeping most of the track on is the NOAA page. You can see a lot of different things on here, but I've been keeping track of the GOES X-ray flux here. So this is our 7-day forecast. As you can see, back here, there was a X-class flare, and we have had 7 X-class flares already within this week. That was our first, and we've had many that were really close to being X-class flare, but they were up in the high M flares. So at this point, we have 2 X-class flares, which is a little hard for me to get on the phone right here. So basically, there's 2 more there that were just a bit above, and we're like a 1.2, 1.3. And then we had our 4th X flare right here, which was a 4.52. So not only that is we've had many ones that were close. Right here was a close one. Then just last night we had 2 X flares right here, just right above it, and we just recently had a 3rd. So if we go down to 3 days, we can see that these, between the May 8th and May 9th, which it's May 9th their time now for NOAA, we can see that we had 3 X flares yesterday. We had a 1.08. A little bit later, we had a 1.04. And we just had I believe it was, they're calling it was a 1.02, but they're calling it a 0.09. I don't know why they downgrade it like that. So, and it lasted long. So if we look at the 1 day so far, you can see where we had 3, well, the 2 X flares. One right there, and then we had one right here. This one was very close to an X flare, but it wasn't. And then if we go down to 6 hours, we see right here is where we had the 1.02. And it was up there and just hovering in that high M class flare area. And then it went back up again to 9.87. Right now, it's hovering on an M class baseline. So, and I keep checking with the 6 hours because you get more of an up-to-date look. So they have many different things, and I like watching this because you can tell what it is, and this one is updated a lot sooner than the spaceweatherlive.com. So then I also tend to go check over here with this now, and I really skip most of these, but I like to look at the back of the sun and what's coming. So we have 3 different areas they're saying that's coming around. The green is definitely coming around now. They probably are named already, I'm not sure. But then we have a ferocious big blue area for sunspots coming around, and then a little red area. And then below that, we have the composite of the sun's backside too, which I find it interesting that we cannot really see what is on the backside of the sun a lot of the times, but yet we can see other things in high details. It's just very weird, in my opinion. It's very fishy. Now, CERN is most definitely active, has been active, and right now they are running at 6,799 GeV, and they have both beams going. They have, it looks like, yeah, they've been running like constantly. They were down a little bit because I believe they had a cryofail or something, but right now they have stable beams. They've been going constantly. So right now, you got to understand, it seems like everything's working hand in hand. Something weird is happening. There has been people posting that the sunspot region, which is the AR 3664, is around the size and shape of the Cardigan event way back in the day that knocked out all electricity and power. I have had a vision of a great event, solar flare, that is supposed to happen. I cannot be sure when that is coming. Just be prepared for anything at this point, because if it does happen, it's going to take out a lot of stuff. I know my internet and stuff has been very funky how it is. I am not sure what is happening and what's going to happen, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Stock up on food and water, have stuff ready, have a community to work with, because at this point, we don't know what's going to happen, and they are not going to tell us until it's too late. because that's just how the higher ups are in this world. They're not going to tell us of a problem because they will believe that we will mass panic, and rightfully so we would. But we got to keep our heads about us when things do happen. So at this point, be safe. Don't fear. Be prepared. Be prepared. It's better to be prepared than the fear at this point, because something is definitely up, and we have a very high chance of X-class solar flares. And considering we've had low X-class flares this past week, and one fairly major one that was a 4.52, and the rest were in the ones, maybe twos, we are going to see a lot more coming within the next few months, almost guaranteed, because our solar cycle 25 is peaking this year, and something's going to happen. For all of you that are spiritual, get ready, because you don't have to worry about the Schumann resonance or anything, but the veil is coming down. Your factions will get to you sooner or later to take you home sooner or later. Let's just hope that that happens very soon. I know who my faction is, and just be careful, because there are those that have bounties on their heads, that actually want to keep you from achieving what needs to be done. But yeah, at this point we have had some crazy stuff happening. And if you want to find these websites, go ahead and search them. I've had to do my research, and check out my subreddit, EchoCallingAll. It's just ECHO calling all, and I post updates like this and my beliefs and stuff over there if you want to follow me there, because TikTok will probably end up being banned sooner or later, because you know how they hate us coming together. Also, find me. I will also probably share this to my YouTube, but find me over there on Reddit, because that's where I'm mostly active at posting updates live, and I tend to post them when they're happening. Thank you very much. I will talk to you later. Never ever give up. Never ever give in. EchoCallingAll. Yes, sirree. Let's get going, and let's actually fucking see what happens next. And apparently just had an update that we had a moderate 1.81 flare from sunspot set region 3664. So they are now reporting that moderate update, and as you can see, things are definitely getting crazy. Buckle up, Buttercup, because it's about time for us all to meet up sooner or later and interact and finally go home to our FTT. And that's what I call my tribe at this point. My family, my tribe, my team, my FTT. And they don't have to be blood relations to be my family or tribe or my team. Because what makes a better family than blood relations is cooperation and working together and caring about each other. See you all soon on the other side.